Hi guys, we just shot a class on Beaducation Live and Lisa showed us how to make ear wires.
We did. We were talking about doing maybe 4 styles, but once we got into it, we showed maybe 10.
Yes.
I mean, look at this mess that we made back here. It's good times. So check it out and give us a thumbs up, a like, maybe a share if you find this information useful. And if you want to make your own ear wires, you're in the right place. Let's check it out.
Gorgeous.
Thank you.
So nice. Good morning,
Good
Facebook
morning.
Beaducation Live.
Welcome to Beaducation Live, everybody. I'm Lisa Niven Kelly.
I'm Mel McCabe, product manager here.
Oh yeah, what do I do here?
You're the CEO of everything.
CEO, yeah. I'm the boss lady.
The queen bee.
So welcome. Today we're going to teach you guys how to make your own ear wires. How many ear wires are we going to teach them?
4.
4.
I didn't even know there was going to be 4.
Well, 4 and then some bonus tips. So we're going to use pliers and 20 gauge wire and we're going to crank them out. You're going to love it. But first, we're starting something new this week and you can expect it every week, which is the tip of the week. I like that.
I do
and
too.
then like a graphic comes in that's like tip of the week. No?
Yeah, I like that.
Mel in Australian.
Tip of the week, right?
Okay, so this week, the tip of the week is, we went over this a couple Facebook Lives ago, but it was early on, so you may have missed it. But we want to talk about how to shape a cuff with this, and it's because you love this, so why don't you tell about this?
This is my favorite blank. We turned it on last week. It's AT145 pewter, American made. It is totally allergy free. I've been wearing mine for a month, showering with it, sleeping with it. It just feels so great. It's so smooth to the touch. There's just nothing jaggy on here, you guys.
Yeah, it's
you
really
can
nice.
you can stamp your mantra. I'm gonna do my mom's mantra, my best friends. This is like the greatest gift because once it's done, it has this beautiful 16 gauge weight to it, but it's not like, oh my gosh, I'm walking around with this bracelet.
And it's good for like a men's bracelet finally, right?
It's
We
great
really
for a
haven't had
men's
something
bracelet.
like that.
Oh, my dad's getting one too.
So for this tip, we're going to bring the camera down. Claudia, hop up there, girl.
And show you how easy it is
And
to bend,
We're
huh?
going to show you how easy it is to bend it. There we go. All right. So here's the bracelet. Hello from Oregon. I love it. Yeah, you guys chime in. Tell us where you're from. I just stamped this. I was trying to channel my co-author of our new book, New Stamp Metal Jewelry, Taryn McCabe, because she stamps like this and she's amazing. But I know that you guys just stocked up on design stamps during our sale, so this is a great opportunity to mandala with them and have a good time with them. So let's just get to the tip. Here is the bracelet bending bar, and you put this right in this little groove here. So if your metal's too thick, this won't really work, but anything thinner is just fine as well. Now the tip is, of course, it's kind of self-explanatory, bring it over, right? But when you do that, it kind of like flips out. So make sure that you're really holding it in place like that.
Oh, with your other hand. I
Yeah,
like that.
with your other hand. And then once you get it started, you can go with your thumb. So see how, boom, already half of the cuff is shaped. Flip it over, insert the other side, hold it really tightly. I mean, the other day I literally flung mine across the room because I wasn't holding it well. And I go all the way. Look at that, Mel.
I love it.
Amazing. And now for me, I like it a little more narrow, so I give it a little pinch there and a little pinch there. And then it's just easy to put on your wrist.
Can I show mine too that Lisa made for me?
Yes.
She asked her to do the mantra, letting go is the path to freedom.
Oh, I love it. All right. So Claudia's going to bring the camera back up. That's our tip of the week. Hope you enjoyed it. And let's get into talking about ear wires. Okay, so ear wires, you need them for earrings, right? You stack a bead on a head pin and hang it from an ear wire. And you can buy them. They're not terribly expensive, but they're usually pretty plain. So I'm going to show you how to make the plain ones, how to make them a little fancier with a spiral, and then I'm going to refer you to my Craftsy class where I teach a ton of them, and I'm going to show you all those samples now. But today we're going to make 4 ear wires.
And I got to tell you the reasons that I love being able to know how to do this when I saw Lisa do it is how often are you at home, you've made some earrings, or you have some earrings where the ear wires you have on it might be base metal and you want some sterling because maybe you have sensitive ears or it doesn't exactly match. You find something, someone's passed on to you. And if you have 20 gauge sterling wire, if you have any 20 gauge wire, but sterling to make it so that it won't hurt your ears, boom, you can make your own ear wires.
Yeah, or gold fill.
Gold fill.
Or now rose gold fill.
Or Lisa's going to show you how to do it with a bead. You're doing something for a gift or you're selling it, just make it look so professional by adding a little color or a little punch to it.
That's a great point. All right, let's get to it. Okay. Whoa, you're stepping on me. Okay, everybody's joining. Hello from Alberta, Trish. I love it. Thank you so much for coming and checking it out. Okay, so here are the ear wires. Let's look at a basic ear wire. I would consider this a basic ear wire, right? Just a loop. Down here is where you'd attach the looped part of your head pin. Let me pull up an actual earring. Let me get it in my hand here. There we go. Right. So this is the very first thing I ever learned to do when I got addicted to beads was put beads on a head pin, turn a loop, buy some ear wires, boom, you've got earrings. And my little daughter has just got pierced ears, so I know she's going to make 100 million with my bead collection. So here's a basic one. I'm going to show you how to do this. So let's get these guys out of the way, and I'm going to pull in my tools. Just this guy right here. All right, let's use sterling wire. So for ear wires, you usually want to use 20 gauge. That's the most comfortable in your ear while also being strong enough. And you can see what I'm doing. I'm just getting to know my wire. Hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you.
And is that like half hard?
You can use half hard. I usually use dead soft. That's a great question, Mel, because I get that a lot from my students where people are like, should I half hard? I mean, you're going to go stock up, right, on a whole bunch of wire. I usually use dead soft because it's easier to harden wire than it is to soften wire. But if you know that you're doing a project like clasps or something, and you want it to be really, really hard, then go ahead and start with half hard wire. But just be aware that it's going to be harder to work with. So a couple things here. I straighten my wire with my fingers like this. It's also hardening it slightly, but it's getting it nice and straight. The first movement, let me get out my pliers and talk you through this a little bit. So I prefer the Tronix pliers. I've got chain nose here, and again, there's a link in the top of the comments. A flush cutter, this is a 7223, which is my favorite. It's razor flush and pointy. You love those, right, Mel?
I do love them.
And a round nose. These are high quality, made in the United States pliers by Tronix, our friends at Tronix. We really love them.
We love them too, because if anything ever happens, you send them right back and they fix it immediately and send it right back to you.
Yeah, I mean, we just had something weird happen to their pliers after 2 years, and the lady at Tronix, who's a friend of mine, was like, let me call her. I'll take them back and fix them. The customer service is amazing. Okay, so starting here, let me get this stuff out of the background so I don't lose focus. That looks pretty good. All right. Starting here, we're going to have our 20 gauge, and I start with a flush cut. So notice on my cutters, it's flat on one side and the other side is beveled. Well, that's what your wire will look like when you cut it. So you want to just cut a teeny, teeny bit off right here so that you have a nice flat. You can't really see it on the camera, but trust me, it's nice and flat. The next move for this basic one is going to be the round nose. I'm going to make the loop that your head pin with beads on it will hang from. And I make it about 3 millimeters. You can find that spot on your plier using a millimeter gauge or just guesstimate. And I'm going to roll away from me. This is a weird angle, but this is like straight in front of me, but to get to the camera it looks like I'm kind of cockeyed. Open my grip, bring it back, squeeze, roll until it touches. Okay, and I've got that little P right there. A couple things that go wrong there. Now we're getting into basic loops, which is good. You got to have those fundamentals. Sometimes people will roll away from themselves, loosen their grip, scoot up on the plier, squeeze, and then your P is tweaked. That's no bueno. Or another mistake. Hey, welcome Cheryl from Colorado. Another mistake they make is they got everything going good, they roll away from you, loosen your grip, and then they scoot down the wire. And see, now you're no longer in your P shape. All right, so let's just do it the correct way one more time just to go through, because you have to get this part of your loop right. All right, so hold it, roll away from you, loosen your grip, bring it back, squeeze, continue until it touches, and you have that P, right? Now you need something round to make the looped part that goes through your ear, and I like to use the medium wrap and tap pliers because this barrel size right here is perfect for the ear wire. And stay tuned because we're giving a giveaway. We're doing a giveaway.
That's right.
Later. We always do a giveaway, and it might be something awesome like something I might be holding in my hand. Two things I'm holding in my hand. All right, so right here I'm going to come in with my, and I'm doing this, this isn't usually how I hold it, but I'm doing this for the camera. It's right up against the, ooh, I'm about to make a mistake, which I'm happy to show you. It's right up against the bottom barrel. Usually I bring my wire this way, but look, I'd be shaping it on the wrong side, so let's flip that over. There we go. Don't do that. You'll learn real quick when you have a funky shape. So bring it around. Again, that was a weird way of holding it just to show you. I usually hold it like this, bring it around nice and tight, and then see how my hand over here is really pulling? That's going to get it to take on the shape of the plier really well. Look at that. And then cut it however long you want. I usually cut it right about there. Again, with the flush side of my cutter. So far, so good. Throw out questions if you got them. Ooh, a Sharpie works too, totally. So wooden mandrels, anything like that for this big round part here. You just want to make sure that you're using something that's not tapered because you could forget where you made it. And when you go to make the second one, and I've got some tricks for you on that, you might scoot up and your second ear wire may not match. So these guys need to match. Okay, so here now I'm going to grab with the tip of my chain nose and just give it that little kink that you see in ear wires, and that's to keep it from, you know, flying out of your ear. Any questions so far, Mel? Am I covering everything?
No, yeah, I think it was great.
Good.
Well, I wanted to ask, when you cut the tip of it, is it best to cut with the tip of the plier or choke up on the plier?
Yeah, that's a great point. So with these cutters, you want to preserve the tip. They're very precious, and you don't want to be cutting anything really, really thick with the very, very tip of them. So anytime you're just cutting a wire, you know, choke up a little bit and cut it back towards the joint of your cutters to preserve that tip. Also, it's a little bit stronger back there. Thank you, that's a great point. Okay, now, I mean, these are good to go, right? Except this might be a little bit scratchy. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. You can hit it with sandpaper or with a nail buffer. I use these a lot, or with a file, or what I've got here is called a wire rounder. And it's got a cup burr in it. Can't really see too much on camera, but let me try to get up there. And that's a little cup with little file edges in it, so that if you were to put it on the tip of your wire, see if I can, I don't have my glasses on, there we go, and roll, 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 and I kind of move around like this.
That's so cool.
Yeah, see, this is stabilized in my hand and this part moves. It's pretty awesome. And then bam, nice and round.
I love that.
Yeah, it's not pokey anymore. So from here, all you would do is, you know, open it just like you would a jump ring or a loop, put your thing in, and when you close it, make sure you get it nice and closed. All right?
Love it.
Cool. Okay, so that's one. My tip for you on making this is to, you can make them at the same time. Meaning like do one step on one step on the other, or I've seen some people like literally bend this in half and work with the tip. I would cut this, the tip of this, and make them literally at the same time and then cut them apart. That's a fun trick too. Let's see, what else do I want to tell about tips on that? I think that's good. All right, so let's move on to a different one. Let's start getting fancy. This one, I don't have to make it, but I just want to talk you through. It's just a little bit of a different shape up at the part that goes to your ear. And that's just moving to a bigger mandrel. So you can move to like the large wrap and tap. They have really big barrels here. Or a bigger wooden mandrel or a bigger Sharpie or whatever you have. But it really gives it like a slightly different look, don't you think?
I like it.
Stepping away from like the basic that you see all the time. Cool.
Pretty.
We have someone looking from Norway.
Norway, hello. I know how to say thank you for the food in Norwegian, but now I forgot. something for part of mountain. Okay, anyway, thank you for the food. Here's another one that's exactly like we just did. Okay, we said we were going to show 4, but we're going to show like 10. It's exactly what we just did, except when I went here to bend the part around your ear, instead of holding it like super, super close to the loop, I just went up higher on the plier.
Oh, I like that.
And it leaves you a longer, ooh, we're getting lots of hearts on this one. Yeah, a longer one. And then you see this more. So if you had like flattened the wire here, or you worked with twisted wire or something like that, this one right here.
Or your bead could just hang down lower on your ear
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
Which is kind of
totally.
cool.
So yeah, I love that idea. So this is made from twisted wire. Isn't that cool? So let me just show you guys real quick, or tell you real quick, that I have a class on craftsy.com, which is awesome. If you've never been there, they have a gazillion classes, and it's on findings. We're going to put up a link here. If you want to check it out, you get 25% off. I just want to mention it to you because I go over these ear wires, and I go over clasps, and I go over head pins. I show you how to make this funky head pin right here with messed up wire on the bottom. I love it. And I show you how to make this guy with a spiral, things like that.
Pretty.
Check it out if you want. I think it's a really great resource. So we're throwing that to our community with a 25% off coupon. Okay, so those ones are the ones I'm going to go over in the Craftsy class. But let me show you my favorite one. And sorry about my hands. I've been making jewelry, right, you guys? Like, if you're making jewelry, your hands should look like this. Your hands are perfect. I mean, then well done. But this is a hand of a girl that just set 2 really hard bezels yesterday. Okay, this is my favorite one. What do you guys think? Give me a thumbs up if you like it, or throw out some comments.
Love the spiral.
I'm a little obsessed with spirals. You know that if you know me. Let's get the wire back here. And for this guy, again, start with a flush cut. Not necessarily because I want a tight loop on this, but I want a good area to grab onto. And without a flush cut, thanks for the hearts, thanks, thumbs up, oh, they like it, okay, good, good, good. Without a flush cut, my round nose is just gonna slip right off. So I'm gonna grab this with a really small part of my round nose plier. See that? And it's like I'm gonna make a basic loop, but I'm actually gonna make it into a spiral. You need to grab it with enough of your plier that will leave space inside, because that's where you're going to put your loop from your ear wire, from your head pin or your jump ring or whatever. If you have a closed spiral there, there's really nothing
to connect it.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so here we are. We're going to make a little, thanks for joining, everybody. I love getting the thumbs up. It makes us so happy. Mel's like freaking out with excitement over here. Okay, little tiny circle here, little tiny. And I'm not squeezing too hard with my round nose because I don't want to mar up my plier. Bring it around and then continue. This is how you make a basic spiral, everybody. That's the start of it. You see that?
Pretty.
Yeah. And then you're done with your round nose. You're going to move to your chain nose. You're going to hold that spiral flat within the jaw of your plier, and little scoots push it around the outside. Isn't that great? So easy. You can make this as big as small as you want, but the bigger you make it, the bigger the loop to get into it is going to have to be. I like to come around to where the tip, that little tail, kind of meets up with the end of my wire. From here, it's just the same as the other loop that went through your basic one, where you hold it here. I'm doing it again. I'm trying to get it for the camera, but I always hold it different. Hello. There we go. Hold it here and bring it around. Okay?
And that's the medium wrap and tap.
Yes, exactly. So again, I usually hold it away from me, but for the camera, I wanted you to be able to see it. This is how I hold it. And then check it out. If you, because you're showing it to the camera, made a really tweaked one, all you need to do is flatten it out. The other tip for all of these ear wires is I usually take a bench block, a plastic hammer, or even a chasing hammer if I want a little bit of texture, and I lay it on my bench block and tap, 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 especially here, because I want to harden this part. I don't want this to lose shape after I've spent so much time making this pretty ear wire. Oh my gosh, we almost have 100 people joining us. Thanks so much.
Can you remind us the gauge of the wire again, Lisa?
Yeah, it's 20 gauge wire. 18 is a little uncomfortable. Oh, and I see someone's asking about the balled. We'll talk about that in a second. Thanks for throwing out the questions. You guys keep it coming. Any other questions, Claudia, that I'm missing?
Yeah, can you talk a little bit about the teeth on the chain nose?
Yeah.
I'm wondering if they mar your wire.
Yeah, so when you are working with jewelry and with wire, you need to use chain nose that are totally smooth. These guys are dirty just because they're my loved pair. They've got like a little bit of rust. I can just hit them with steel wool. It's not a big deal. It's not anything that's going to mar my wire. But you want to have very smooth jaws. And what's great about these by Tronics is not only are the jaws smooth, but they've got a fancy word. I forgot what it is. They've done something on the edge here so the edge isn't incredibly sharp. I mean, yes, it's like a tight edge, but it's not like really, really sharp because sometimes the edge of your pliers will mar your wire. So if you have a good pair of chain nose, you should be able to hold your wire and it won't mar it. Your round nose will mar it because of the way that the two round bits of the plier come together. I mean, they have to because they're so pointed where they come together. So that's why anytime you're holding wire with round nose, you don't want to give it the death grip, just enough to move it to where you want to move it. But no serrated jaws. You have to have nice, smooth jaws. If you find there's a flaw in your jaw, you can always take like a file to it and try to clean it up a little bit. Cool? Mm-hmm. The other cool thing about these is a little side note, but I'm noticing that the lighting in the camera is picking it up. Can you see how the tip of the plier is a little bit of a different color than the rest of it? Do you see that?
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
light. It's because they extra harden the tip of their pliers, which is awesome. Because if you're working with a really thick wire, sometimes you grab a 14 gauge and you go to grab it with the tip and you can see the tips of the pliers just
I've seen that
splay
with
out.
other pliers.
Yeah,
Yes.
that won't happen with these. And that's why when working with thick wire like that, you want to work with a short round nose because there's more strength to it. A chain nose. A long chain nose will splay out there because they're so long that they're just not as strong out there. Cool, got it.
I think that's Tronics' motto too. No flaw in our jaw.
Oh, it should be. I bet you could write them a jingle.
I think so too.
Okay, let's see. What else do we have
Are you
here?
going to talk about the little, somebody's asking about the ball end of the twisted wire here?
Yep, I'll talk about that in just one sec. Okay, so we weren't done with this dude yet, but it's basically the same. I keep moving the tools out of the background, you guys, because when you go live,
You don't want the focus.
is like nuts. It's not like our normal camera, so that's why so much movement. Okay, so just like the other ones, trim, use chain nose, or you actually could use your round nose if you really wanted to. Give it a little kink, and then smooth that off. So now your loop will come into the spiral. Does that make sense? That's my favorite. would
I know my favorite.
Tap. Oh, you have a favorite?
The bead one.
Oh, the bead one. Okay, thank you, thank you. Let's get on to that one.
Because I just like a fancy one.
Where is that? We had a sample. It was a blue one.
Did we?
It jumped ship.
Oh.
Oh, well, that's okay, because we'll make it.
I promise I didn't
Okay.
take it.
So when you're making an ear wire with a bead on it, you want to use not too big a bead because it kind of gets in the way of the loop. I stick to 3 to 4, maybe 5 millimeter. So I've got in here some pressed glass. I've got some Bali silver. I've got some Swarovski crystals.
Pretty.
The trick too, though, is you have to remember they have to fit on 20 gauge, right? So you can't use like a little tanzanite hand drilled one. So let's get started on that. A little bit different with this guy. Oh, let's start with our flush cut. Always, that should be your motto. Flush cut. Book. All right. Basic loop. Hold it where you want it. Roll away from you. And notice when I roll away from myself, I'm really pushing against the wire against the plier to achieve that shape. Loosen grip. Come back. Continue till it touches. Now, if I just slid the bead on here, it would sit really awkward. So I'm going to shift this loop into more of, so it's balanced on the pin, just like you're doing like a basic link or something. The way I do that is I come in with my chain nose. I hope you can see this well. The one side of my chain nose is in the loop, one side is on the outside of the loop, okay, like this. I'm going to push real hard with my hand here and give it a little kink.
I like that. Then the bead won't fall off when you go to open it up to put your earring on.
Yeah, or slide in the loop. It's weird.
Right.
So look at my
Slide in the
finger.
loop.
Like I really pushed hard, like to get that. It will open it slightly. There's a couple tricks to that I show in the Craftsy class, but you can just come and close it, right? Okay, Mel, what should we use? I'm gonna guess you're gonna say a Swarovski.
Yes, let's use a fabulous AB fuchsia Swarovski.
Oh, I don't even see one of those.
Or like a little magenta guy right here. I think that's a ruby.
Ooh, does
I
the
kinda
3 mil
like
fit
them.
on 20 gauge?
I think so. I think their holes are so perfect.
Not really well. Let's go with a 4 mil.
Okay.
Okay.
Ooh.
Ooh. So the other thing about this that you'll probably notice is I just work off a long wire. I don't pre-cut my wires because then if anything goes wrong, you're kind of screwed because you're stuck with that length, right?
And you don't waste any.
Yeah, you don't waste any. Okay, so we've got this. Now, again, guys, if I just cut a 1/2 inch and turn another loop, I would have a link. Make 12 of those and I have a bracelet. So keep that in mind. But that's not what we're doing today. We are making ear wires. Okay, so here I need to kink the ear wire. Where is that one? Oh, it might be on the floor. There's a couple on the floor.
Oh, I do see.
I need to kink the ear wire out to a 90-degree angle so that then I can pull it around. Okay, here it is. Awesome. He did literally jump ship.
He did,
He
yes.
was on the floor. So see here how I've got my loop, I've got my bead, and then this is kinked this direction. Because if I just loop it like this, the bead will scoot up in it. So it's kind of like making a little home for it so it won't move anywhere.
It's a nest.
A nest. That makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's do that here. So what you're going to do right here is I am going to kink it to the side. Now be careful, because if you're using a sensitive bead like a crystal,
You don't want to crush it.
You don't
I
want
have
to crack
accidentally
it.
done that before.
So I move my plier up a little bit because I want to give room for the bend. If I'm right up against a bead, which sometimes you can be, when I kink this, you're going to hear a little crack. Okay? So right there.
You want to be kinky, but not too kinky.
Exactly. I like it. A little. Okay?
Lovely.
You don't have to go all the way 90 degree, especially if you can't. Sometimes you can also do it with your hand. Just get your fingernail in
yeah.
there. You're the boss of this wire, Mel. You tell it what to do. All right. Yep. So now just a regular loop, right? So we're just going to come here and bring the wire up and over. See that? And you got yourself an ear wire with a bead on it.
I think I'm going to be getting me some of those medium wrap and tap today.
I know, they're really awesome. Well, stay tuned. I mean, we are doing a giveaway. Hint, hint, hint.
That's right.
Okay, check it out, you guys. What do you think?
I love it.
All
Give us
right.
some hearts if you love it.
Koala BC says, "You go, girl." I think she might be referring to me saying, "You're a boss of this wire." Okay, any questions? Claudia, anything come up besides the bald head pin, which I will cover? Not so much.
Actually, can you just remind us again what wires you were using?
Yeah, let's go over that again. So thanks for joining anyone that's coming in new. We're making ear wires, Beaducation Live here, and we carry all these tools. You will find them in the first link in the comments, trying to make it easy for you. This is a chain nose, smooth jaws, pointed. The flat nose have squared jaws at the top, not pointed. Chain nose plier is a high quality, made in the United States. Round nose, the jaws are round, so I like to do this. I don't know why, because I'm a dork maybe, and I love pliers. We'll give you a tour sometime of the office. You guys can see all my pliers. It's a little bit ridiculous. Round nose, these are called short round nose. They also come long. And chain nose also comes in a bent chain nose. Those are great for opening and closing jump rings. And then we have a cutter. You want to make sure you use a flush cutter so that you're cutting the wire flat. You want to make sure you're not abusing the tip. Only use it when you need to on thin wires and cut a little further back towards a joint. Also, keep these away from your husband who plays guitar. Sorry, sweetie. He's got his own cutters because a guitar wire or a memory wire will totally ruin these. You'll have a big hole in them.
So Lisa, would
Okay.
you say that those are the basic tools that you need to get started when doing any type of wire work?
Come closer so you can hear. Yeah, so Claudia's asking basic tools for any wire work. Yes.
Yeah, especially, I mean, for ear wires, you're really just getting started with wire working.
Sure. Yeah, good question. I use what I call the Power 4, and it's a chain nose, a round nose, a cutter, and a nylon jaw plier. A nylon jaw plier is great for straightening your wire. It's got 2 flat jaws. You squeeze and you go like this. I tend to do it with my hands, actually. I really like to get a feel for the hardness of the wire. But nylon jaw pliers are great. If I were to make a power 5, I would throw in a flat nose. And we also carry a German line of pliers on our site. We don't carry any pliers that are going to end up in your garbage. We are not into that. We carry inexpensive ones that are great. I mean, they really are the red-handled ones. We carry high-quality ones that are guaranteed. They will save your hands. They're ergonomic. They're light. This is important to me because I do a lot of wire work. So if you're constantly picking up and putting down your pliers, you'll see exactly what I mean. So check them out. Send us questions. We're always happy to answer, and keep them coming. Okay.
And the medium wrap and tap. I mean, if people want to know.
Right. For me, I mean, when I get crazy, there's tons of other pliers. And, you know, we can do a whole show on pliers.
That's true. That's a good point.
idea.
Yeah.
These I use a ton for making toggle clasps. These are the large wrap and tap. The medium wrap and tap I use for making regular loops because they're stepped. We have another plier that's called stepped round nose. Mm-hmm. No, looping. Yeah, it's got
stepped round nose.
6 different steps. And where I like to make my loops with round nose because I'm used to it. If you're new and you want to make sure your loops are the same size every time, moving to a stepped plier like that where there's no taper makes sense. Mm-hmm. Okay.
In fact, let us know in the comments if you guys would love to see like some of the clasps maybe in another class or doing maybe like a hook class and a toggle class.
In learning, I mean, we love to show tools, right?
Yeah,
I'm a little bit of a tool crazy person. We don't want it to feel too salesy. Go buy these tools. It's just really, really important to us that you understand what tools to use to be successful to make beautiful jewelry. Honestly, that is the goal of our business.
Yeah, so you don't feel frustrated too. Yeah,
totally, totally. Okay, so is that it? Those are the ones that we were going to show.
I think so. And then I would just remind folks about the the little.
This is a cup burr.
Cup burr.
This bit is typically called a cup burr. This whole thing is called a wire rounder set. So it comes with this guy that when I'm moving this, it's not unscrewing, it's just swiveling. And you can put anything in here, any different bits, because it's got a chuck, like a little round
we even
file.
have the replacement bits.
Yeah,
too.
we have, I just pulled these because the one that was in here was dull. I use it a lot. It's going to dull over time, but you know, replacement parts are pretty inexpensive. But you can see here, I don't know if you can see with the lighting, but the chuck just pinches down on whatever bit you put in there. So it's a hand tool, stuff like that. Somebody wants some wrap and tap pliers. Okay, Zona, well, you know where to get them. The link is in the comments.
Or there's a possibility you could win them.
I don't know what the giveaway is today. We haven't told them yet. Okay, I think there was actually one more.
There was?
Well, I want to talk you through this one because this is my favorite. This is a tiny spiral, a loop below it, and a loop above it. Like, that is really fun because oftentimes when you're wearing earrings, people are looking at you from the side. Mm-hmm. So you want to make sure that that's pretty. Ooh, Koala BC wants to learn wire rings, definitely. Hey, Sally, welcome.
Wire work.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's amazing because that's what I do. We got into stamping. We do a lot of stamping, but wire work is my thing. That's what I traveled and taught all over the country for like 20 years. Am I that old? I think so. Okay. All right. So just a little reminder. I'm going to bring in one more thing before we go up and do the giveaway and talk a little bit more. These are some of the ones that I teach on the Craftsy class. So again, in the Craftsy class, I go over the bald ear wire like I have on here and on here. I can talk you through it right now though. Remember last week or the week before when we did some annealing? You need a torch, you need something to protect your table, you need a cool cup, and you need some pliers to hold the wire. And I make these out of fine silver because fine silver balls up really, really nicely. Sterling balls up a little dirty because of the oxides that come to the surface, and it doesn't make a smooth ball. So I love fine silver for this. And you know what, let's do this next week.
Oh, I love that idea.
You guys come back. We're not prepared with the torch and all that, but we're going to make bald head pins and bald ear wires next week.
And headbands, I love it.
Yeah, why not? So if this was straight, you can imagine with the ball at the end, you stack beads on. It's a much prettier end of a head pin than just like a nail bottom, but a nice ball, right? So if you want to give it a try before next week, get your torch, turn it on. Here's your flame. You're holding your wire like this, and you're kind of dipping it into the flame, holding it until it balls up. And 20 gauge, it'll happen pretty quick. You don't have to be scared. It's not going to like ball up and get out of control. Just, you know, go slowly. And we'll go over it next week. Sound good?
Lovely jubbly.
Oh my gosh, look at all these people. Hey, Dave, Joe, welcome. Better late than never. I love it. Oh, Angel will be here next week. Woohoo!
Kat also wants to know if we carry all other wires in our shop.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if she means ear wires that are finished or
any
types
of them in
wires.
sterling.
Yeah,
We
great
have
question. She's wondering if we have the other wires. So we have sterling, gold fill, rose, gold fill,
Silver felt.
silver filled, and copper wire in gauges from about 28 and some of them 30, some of them up to 12 or 8 in copper. And then we also have the finished ear wires. If you guys are like, that looks hard, I'm never making those, then go ahead and buy them. We have them plain and we have them with a bald end in a bunch of different metals. Cool? Is that enough about that? So again, you guys, the Craftsy class, you're going to learn how to make twisted wire, bald. You're going to make this guy that's very tricky and I think is beautiful. And it's wrapped shut, so nothing's going to fall out of there. And you're going to learn to make clasps and all kinds of other stuff. It's like a 5-hour class. And if you want 25% off, check out that coupon. Okay, let's go back, and we've made quite a mess here. That's a lot of information.
Yeah,
What
and
else
it
do we
sounds like
have?
that's it. And next week it sounds like we're doing bald head pins and bald ear wires. I just found out.
We're gonna, me too, we just made it up. We're gonna fire up a torch next week, and we will always have a tip of the week, and we will always have a giveaway. We really appreciate you guys coming.
Thanks so much, you guys.
See you next week.
Bye.